Hey, yo, turn the lights on here. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome, welcome. Beard, I need to shave, bro. My name is Derek. For those who don't know, if you're just tuning in for the first time, covering everything wholesaling real estate on this channel, specifically virtually wholesaling real estate, as that's what I'm doing. Currently live out in California, source an opportunity out in Houston, Texas. So if you're out in Houston doing real estate, or anywhere really, and you'd like to connect, feel free to check out the links in the description. I got my Instagram down there as well as the Discord that I recently created. Love to have you hop in there, build a little bit of a community within the Discord group. Trying to get as many people in there as possible. It's going to be the best way to stay connected with me and everybody else when I'm not on the live stream. So, uh, without further ado, today it's probably going to be a little quick one. Just want to kind of pad the stats here, hop on the dialer, just finished driving for dollars. Um, just a minute ago. I tried to drive for dollars. I'm getting in the habit of doing it every morning. I used to do it every morning for sure, but I kind of fell off of that, and I was buying more lists. But I want to get back in the habit of driving for dollars because I do. Granted, I'm operating off of kind of a small sample size here, limited marketing budget, but I definitely feel that I am able to generate more leads off of a smaller list when it comes to driving for dollars, right? Because one, the lists aren't beat up, right? They're not getting called by a bunch of other investors, a bunch of other wholesalers, uh, because they're not just on these lists that everybody's pulling from the same sites, same sources. Granted, some of these people probably are on those lists as well, right? If I'm looking at the property and it's physically distressed, there's tarps on the roof, there's all types of stuff going on with the physical properties of the house, then the likelihood of them being on a tax default or a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a violation, like code violation list is probably pretty high as well. So but there are ones, that probably aren't landing on any of those lists, but I'm just identifying that this property is physically distressed, right? So that's where the benefit comes in with building a custom list. Driving for dollars is nobody's going to be able to go and just pull the same list that you've built out driving for dollars. So I do it virtually using Google Maps. I have a little pre-recorded mini series on my channel if you want to go check that out. I've tweaked it a little bit since I've recorded that, since I no longer use PropStream, but essentially it's the same thing. I'm driving on Google Maps, building a list, skip tracing that list, and then throwing it in my dialer. And like I said, I want to get in the habit of doing that just daily, because I'm definitely, again, I'm not calling thousands and thousands and thousands of properties, but based off of like the size list that I am calling, 500 to 1,000 is like the size of the list that I kind of prefer to skip trace. Once I built it out that big through virtually driving for dollars, I can generate I feel like a pretty good, a decent amount of leads off of that size list. Whereas to generate the same amount of leads through a list that I'm purchasing or I'm pulling from these sources where everybody else is pulling them from, you're going to have to pull a much larger list because they're already going to be contacted. I guess in a nutshell, what I'm saying is a lot of times I'm finding when I call through my driving for dollars list, I'm connecting with these homeowners for the first time, and it's clear that nobody else has ever called them, right? Or maybe, just a few other people, but they're not like on these other lists where you connect with somebody and somebody tells you, yeah, you're the 20th call today. I get calls and texts all day, every day. And no, I don't want to sell, um, just the likelihood of somebody not being contacted so frequently is pretty high when you're dialing these driving for dollars lists. So anyways, um, that's probably going to be the list that I'm going to call today. Let me hop into my dialer. I use CallTools. Uh, Something else pretty interesting happened today as well. If you've been following um, my recent contract that I ended up canceling, and the reason I ended up canceling it was because I connected. It's a very small little town out near Austin, not in Houston. So I typically generate leads in Houston and source opportunity out in Houston. the guy that I contacted, the seller, had a number of properties out in Houston, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in selling any of those, but I do have one more out near Austin that I'm looking to sell, so that I can buy another one in Houston." And uh, very small town. I ended up locking it up at a price that I thought was really favorable for me. I thought it was going to be a huge spread, but once I started learning more after I got the contract, learning more, contacting and connecting with realtors in the area, one specific realtor that I was glad that I connected with, because it's clear that her brokerage kind of dominates this small little niche town. A lot of the comps that I was pulling, her brokerage was representing the flipper, and turning it over and selling it on the back end. So I was glad to have connected with her, and she was very familiar with the property itself, my subject property that I had under contract. And she was letting me know, oh, this area is the values in this area are much different than the values in the area where you're pulling these comps. Um, which is like interesting, because it's a small town. And if I was in kind of like the bigger Houston metro area, I try to typically keep it to like a half mile or less, right? A quarter mile, um, ideally, meaning when I'm pulling comps, I try to keep it like from like in distance wise between my subject property and the comp. I try to keep it ideally like no more than a quarter mile away. Um, Sometimes I go up to a half mile, depending on the activity in the area. But in this case, this small little town is maybe a half mile, you know. So you would think that any home in this small little town could serve as a comparable, as long as it, is apples to apples. But it's not the case. Since it's a small little town, the values change almost by the block. So the further north you go, you could be a couple blocks north and you could be selling properties for 400 plus, and you can go a couple blocks south and now you're looking at 350, a couple blocks south, you're looking at 300, and then you cross the train tracks and then you're dropping off to like 200. So my property was on the right side of the train tracks, north end, but it was on the south end of the north side, if that makes sense. So it just didn't make sense. She was saying, "Yeah, I'm very familiar with the property. I have a few investors that are interested, but I would say it's going to be about 190 to 200 max." And I had it at 200. So instead of wasting everybody's time and going, you know, having them walk the property just to tell me the same thing, yeah, 190, we're probably going to offer 190. She's saying 200. The fact that she said 200, I would hope that she at least would go upwards of 200, but, or, maybe I can negotiate and have her come up towards of 200. But even at that, I would be just breaking even, and I would, essentially just be passing the deal along. What's up, Jared? So I ended up going, I'm kind of reiterating this last deal that I ended up canceling the contract on. Just kind of again reiterating why. So I connected with that realtor. She gave me her opinion on the values. I believe her in her opinion on the values, again, because her brokerage, it seems to be that her brokerage dominates this small little town. And she represented a lot of the comps that I was looking at. So I was glad to have connected with her and gotten her opinion, and I trust her opinion for that. That being said, um, and she was like, "Yeah, I'd be at 190 to 200." And again, as opposed to wasting everybody's time, the seller's time, the tenant's time, her investor client's time, just to go out there and tell me the same thing, was what she said, which is they'd be around 190 to 200 when I had it locked up at 200. I just went straight back to the seller and said, "Hey, I'm learning this." Started to connect with some realtors in the area. They're providing me the opinion, and it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to make what we thought we were going to be able to make on the back end when everything's said and done. The values seem to be, the discrepancy in values between within the small town seems to drop off quite significantly the further south you go. You can be on the north end of the town and sell something upwards of 400 plus, and then you can be in your little area pocket of the town, which is kind of like right above the north end of the train tracks, and you're looking at maybe 250, 260 on the back end. So, that being said, I'm glad that I connected with her and gotten her opinion. So, unfortunately, we're just not going to be able to make that 200 work. We would need to be somewhere closer. I think I said 185. I wish I hadn't done that number out, because now I want to say like 175, 180. But um, what ended up happening was, it was cordial. He was like, "Oh yeah, I get it." And I said, so if you, he's like, "Yeah, but the 200's firm. It doesn't make sense. I'll just raise the tenants' rents and hold on to the property." The guy's not motivated. He's a savvy investor. He has many properties. Uh, so it kind of got left off at that. And I was like, "Yeah, so I mean, if you ever change your mind, let me know. If you ever feel like you can come off that 200 price." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, okay, pretty firm at that. Let me know." He pretty much said the same thing to me. "Let me know if you ever think that you can do the 200." And I said, "All right." Canceled it. I didn't really cancel it though, and that's maybe so. Anyways, I woke up to an email from the seller, and he was like, "Hey, give me a call about the property." He said, "Derek, can you call me as soon as possible concerning the house? Thanks." So I don't know what he's gonna say. It could be a number of things. It could be him saying, "Hey, what I'm hoping for and what I'm keeping my fingers crossed for is he's willing to come down on his price." Again, I'm going to throw out kind of the 175 is ideally where we would want to be, but like we think we could probably do 180. I just don't want to have to like promise. I don't want to make that a hard offer again because we still haven't walked the property. So we feel most confident and comfortable at 175, even if something does pop up in the walkthrough. Um, I would just hate to kind of waste everybody's time and have to come back to you and say, "Hey, the 185 isn't going to work either." So, I think the best that we honestly can do at this point before the walkthrough is to agree to 180. So that's what I would say to him if he's willing to come down on price. He may say a number of other things though. He might have been contacted by somebody else because of the marketing that I sent out in order to market it to buyers. He had talked with one of the people over at the title company and let them know that it was canceled. So it may be something about title. It may be the fact that I never sent him an actual cancellation contract, and he may just be wanting that to make sure that everything's kind of wiped clean. So it could be a number of things, but I'm going to give him a call a little later, early afternoon. I don't want to really think about that right now. I'm just going to hop on the dialer and try to generate some more leads for now. Sorry, I know that was a crazy long intro there. It took me almost 12, 13 minutes to hop on the dialer. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did yesterday and kind of work my way from the smallest list up just so that I can kind of start milking these lists and honoring the live filters that I've set up in the back end. And on the back end on CallTools, you can determine how many times you want to call through the list, how many times or rather, it's how many times you want to call every property. So I just kind of want to honor that. I think honestly, I set it up to the point where I'm calling through the list a little bit too many times. But again, it just takes me a quick second to call through it, so I might as well. So this one is a Harris County vacants. It's just a handful, like 55 properties, I think I just saw. But yeah, so what I plan to do, again, keep your fingers crossed that the guy is just wanting to renegotiate and willing to come down on his price. I'm going to try to hold firm at like 180, so that I can have a little bit of spread on that and leave it open for the opportunity for that realtor to walk the property with her clients. She said that she had two for sure, possibly three that would be interested. It's 2 weeks ago to the day where I went back to him and canceled it. Um, so I'm hoping that I can round back with her if he's willing to renegotiate the price and have her and her clients walk the property. And I still want to leave enough room there for her to say, "Oh no, it's in much worse condition than we thought. Like the best we're going to be able to do is 185 or whatever it is. Something lower than what she already threw out there. She threw out 190 to 200. I would think that she would honor that. She had all the pictures, so it would have to be something I think quite significant for her to say, "Oh, that's we're going to need it less than that." It's like, well, what did you possibly see on the walkthrough that you didn't see in the pictures? But if it is something like that, then that's just something again that I can go back to the seller and say, because I don't know. I got the interior pictures from the seller himself, so I don't really know when those pictures were taken or how the property looks compared to those pictures that he provided. So if it is something that they spot, then I would feel comfortable rounding back with the seller and communicating that feedback because it would likely be something that wasn't portrayed in the pictures that he provided to me. But Yeah, so I want to leave enough room there to one, not have to go and renegotiate again with him after they do their walkthrough, just in case something pops up, and then two, leave enough spread on it for me to take an assignment. Again, she said 190 to 200. I'd imagine that regardless, she's going to come back and be like, oh, yeah, it's not really, we do 190. So I want to get it at least at 180. If, again, keep your fingers crossed, if that's even what he's wanting to talk to me about. I don't know what else he'd want to talk to me about other than solidifying the cancellation that happened, 2 weeks ago. And the reason I didn't send him like any official cancellation agreement was because technically the contract was void already. I hadn't put up my earnest money, um, and probably a number of other things within the contract that ended up having it just be void and null and void and however you want to say it. Uh, so that's why I didn't really put up or send him like, hello,
Hey,
hi, Miss Nunes, hello,
bueno,
hi, Senora Nunes. Oh, okay. Hmm. So that's how I'm gonna approach the conversation. I'm operating under the assumption that he's gonna be like, you know what was the best that you could do again? And I'm gonna say, well, it's still all of this is contingent upon the walkthrough. And ideally, we would feel most comfortable at like 175. Um, and he's gonna be like, oh, I thought you said 185. And I'll say, yeah, again, just learning what we had learned about what we can expect on the back end um, when it comes to actually sell the property. You know, I know I threw that out there, but again, we would feel most comfortable in an ideal situation at 175, and he told 185, and then hopefully we can maybe meet at 180 or even 185. And I'm going to say it again. I want to be sure that we get it at a price that I'm not going to have to come back to you again and let you know that we're unable to do it. I want to be able to honor the price that we get it under contract at. You know, but I do want to say still that it is contingent upon a walkthrough. We still haven't gone seen the inside of the property yet, so I want to throw that out there. So I'm hoping that that's the case. It's the vibes that I'm taking today, and again, just gonna go ahead and enter into that conversation with that assumption. All right, just hopped off of that campaign, called through all those people. That one's pretty much done. Again, I just milk it for the sake of it. Like if that woman answered, it would have been cool, but now I'm hopping into a Montgomery County absentee list, which is pretty much the same size, just about 50, 60 properties. And that'd be pretty cool, just if he was willing to do that, because a lot of it was already done. I've done a lot of the legwork. I've already spoken with somebody who sounds like she has a few clients that would be interested, so it would be a little bit more simple. I would just want to maybe market it a little bit more. So, I'm talking, but I was gonna say I'm talking as if that's exactly what he wants to talk about. But again, I'm operating under that assumption today, so that when I do connect with him, I have all this in mind. But I was gonna say, if that's the case, I would love to get maybe at least one more buyer out there, so that they know that there is competition, right, and that it's just not for them. You know, like being presented to them on a silver platter, because then they will try to beat me up on price, knowing that there's no competition. It's easy for me to say, oh yeah, you got a few other people that are, but I don't. I was gonna say a few other people that are interested, and I'll get back to you, but like pretty much just gonna take whatever they offer, try to have them come up a little bit on price, but um, I really have no justification other than wanting more money. You know what I mean? You have to have some type of leverage, and the leverage as the wholesaler is that there are other buyers interested. But it's one thing for me to say that, but a whole other thing for somebody to actually be on site at the property, walking the property when they're walking the property. She says that she may have a few people interested. She said two for sure, possibly three. So the bidding would just be amongst them, which would be cool if that were the case. But I don't want to rely on that, because all of them are going to be represented by the same realtor. So it's essentially, I'm just, even though she's saying she has two for sure, three that may be interested, um, I'm just kind of, treating it as one, because they're all being represented by the same realtor client, realtor agent. So they're just going to be able to kind of talk amongst themselves and say, hey, yeah, I don't want it. Do you want it? Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, I'll offer something low, so that you can come in, kind of, Jared, if you're in here, like kind of what we do, play the little two-man game. There's nothing that will stop them from doing that, uh, because they're all going to be contacted by the same realtor and walking the property at the same time. I don't know if she would expect anything on top of this, or if she would just simply be okay with taking the listing on the back end, which is what I would hopefully expect her to do, and not want to get paid on this transaction, but rather, wait it out until the property is fully fixed up to take the commission on the back end when she goes to list it for them. But I don't know, and that's exactly why I don't know. Like when she says 190 to 200, are you adding any type of a fee on top of that for yourself, or what? Let me know when I can send info for you to call that lead that's for sale by owner. Yeah, um, send it through. Send it. You can send it through whenever. I don't want to guarantee that I'm going to call it today. I got to take my dog out, and I'm going to be kind of hopping off a little earlier today, around probably 2-ish. So it's already 11:15. I'm gonna try to dial until like noon, and then go handle that, take him out, take a quick lunch break, and then try to hop back on at like 1 for follow-ups. So and then I'm gonna want to call this guy, and then knock out the other follow-ups that I have set for the day. But send it through whenever, and I'll try my best to get to it today. If not today, then probably Monday. If you want to wait till Monday, that's fine too. I'll have a clean slate on Monday, and I can send it later for sure. Did you guys? Is the appointment confirmed for next week with Maria, or is it still up in the air, just kind of Monday or Tuesday? I have to check with my girl for sure. Let me know. I just saw her Instagram right now. You guys are going crazy with the signs. Looks like you got like what, like 14, 15 of them up already. That's crazy. And if you don't mind me asking, how are you compensating these people? Are you just gonna pay them on the back end if their number generates a deal that closes? That's how I would imagine it's gonna happen, unless you're paying them up front. You're doing like 5 every day. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, that's that one. 10% of any deal I get. Okay, yeah. When it closes, I'd imagine. Yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty much what I anticipated. Use the restroom real quick. We'll be right back. If they get other people they know to do it, I'll give extra percent. Okay, yeah, that's dope. Little referral incentive. All right, gonna hop on Fort Bend County absentee. Hmm. Hello?
Hello. We are not available.
This one's about 150 properties, so it should take really not that much longer than the other ones. Especially because at this point, a lot of these properties probably only have like 1 to 2 numbers since I've dialed through the list so many times. Um, I'm like marking I'm deleting the numbers that are wrong numbers and stuff like that. So once you start dialing through the list any more than like 3 times, you can really blow through it fairly quickly. It's always a little dark in here. I was watching Stephen Morales's YouTube this morning as well. He goes live every Friday morning. I think I mentioned it before, but his show is called The Deal Desk, and has set up a lead submission based type of show where you can submit him your leads, and he'll call them live every Friday morning. And every once in a while, he'll bring guests on to do it, with him, um, just to kind of highlight other people's closing, skills and methodology and stuff like that. And I've been really attracted to RJ Bates. His closing techniques very straightforward, very honest, and he brought him on this morning, and I was listening to a few calls that he had made. I missed, I guess, the one where he locked something up. I think it was like the first call, but I caught the tail end of it. But it was more so what I am, being attracted to with his methodology is something that I've been kind of mentioning on the channel here in recent videos, is just wanting to sift through all the BS and not wasting time on unmotivated leads. And he does that, I think, perfectly. Um, like one of the last calls that I had caught, the guy hopped on and was like, "Yeah, I want 74,000 exactly, right?" And he was like, "Okay." And, this was right in the beginning of the phone call. He said, "Hey, I'm calling you about a property. Um, were you still interested in selling that?" He said, "Yeah." He says, "Okay, how much were you wanting for it?" He said, 74,000. He said, "Okay, uh, how much do you think that you would spend in, the renovation? How much work do you think it would need?" He said, "I'd spend probably about 30,000." He says, "Okay." And all while he's running comps like very quickly on batch, I believe is what he uses. And he says, "Okay, well, what do you think you'd be able to, if you did spend that 30,000, what do you think that you'd be able to sell it for, when everything's said and done on the back end when you list it on the market?" He says, "Probably 125." He says, "Okay, so you're saying that you're wanting 74, you think that it's going to take about 30 to fix it up. So I would be all in at about 104. And then you think that I could sell it for 125." He says, "To be honest, I mean, there's just factoring in all of the commissions and the fees that are going to pop up along the way. There's just not enough meat on the bone for me. Is that 74 negotiable at all?" And he says, "No, it's pretty firm. I would do it myself, and I probably will just do it myself. It's just the next project in line. I just haven't gotten around to it." And he was like, "Yeah, I would probably need to be, low 60s, maybe even high 50s for it to make sense for me." And he says, "Yeah, I wouldn't take that little. I'm pretty firm at the 74." And he says, "All right." And he says, "Thanks for calling, though." He says, "Absolutely. Have a good day." And that was it. It was like, I think, a 2-minute phone call. And I'm listening to that thinking to myself, that's somebody that I probably would have followed up with after that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, just watching him eliminate and trim the fat off of these list of leads is inspiring to me. That's exactly how like I said, I know I've been mentioning that recently. And I think that I know that it comes from not having enough leads. It comes from having small lists. It comes from hoping that these leads that you're following up with or that you're contacting will change their mind at one point. You know, like that guy, it was clear that he wasn't going to move off of his price. And it would have something would have had to have happened unforeseen in his life or business for him to come off of that price. So he's not going to follow up with him hoping that something like that just happens randomly. He's going to kick it to the wayside and then move on and call the next lead. So I know again that comes with um, an abundance of leads, and that's why I want to focus on spending more time on the dialer as opposed to wasting time following up with leads that will never convert. Think of the people they know to do who are yeah, RJ Bates. Exactly. 2 minute phone call. How much do you want for the do you want to sell it? Yeah. How much? 74. How much money you think I need to spend to fix it all up? 30. How much you think I can spend it for or sell it for on the back end? 125. There's not enough room there for me. I would need it at like 60 to high 50s. Whereas I know other people too are gonna like want to dig into the motivation, dig into the pain points, but he's like, you know, it's not there. And I feel that 2 minute conversation to eliminate the unmotivated lead, and he's freed up more time for himself to call the next lead. And again, that's why I know that it comes from a lack of leads, following up with people who are never going to convert. Because for like me, I don't have that many leads. They're in a position where people are submitting them leads. So they can just say next, 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 next lead, next lead, next lead. I don't have an unlimited amount of leads. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Miss Nguyen.
Hello.
Hi there, this is Derek. Hey, I was calling about a property I believe you own on Steamboat Run. But even then, even if they weren't doing that show, they've scaled their business up to the point where they probably still do have an unlimited amount of leads. Like they could probably be on the phones all day calling these leads to try to convert somebody. So again, that's why I really want to be spending at this point in my business, since I don't have an abundant amount of leads. That's where my focus should really be at. That's where I need to be spending a majority of my time is generating new leads as opposed to trying to convert these old leads that are never really going to convert. And it's just being able to identify that. So I've been kind of trying to be honest with myself about the leads that I'm following up with. I think to be even more honest with myself, I could be uh, to be more honest with myself in this moment. I could probably be more honest with myself on the grand scheme of things and still eliminate a lot more of these leads that are on my follow up list because in all likelihood they're never going to convert. And that's what I'm trying to really do is be honest with myself. Look at this, say, how many times have I followed?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, Ms. Zhang.
Who?
Hi, I'm sorry. I was looking to get a hold of the owner of a property on Strawfield Drive. Do I have the right number here?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. I might have the wrong number. I'm sorry
This is
about
a
that.
This is a company.
Oh, I probably dialed the wrong number. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
They get multiple leads all day, so they don't really care to waste time. Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I know that. And that's why, again, at this point in my career in this business, I should still be operating the same way that they operate when it comes to the follow-ups. It's just that I'm going to get through my follow-up list a lot quicker than they are because they could be following up with leads all day. But that doesn't mean that I should be wasting time. You know what I mean? I should still be operating the same way that they operate on the follow-ups. It's just that when I get through my follow-up list much quicker than they're going to, I need to then go straight back to generating more leads. So their split may be like 50-50 generation and follow up. Whereas mine right now is probably going to be like 90% generation and 10% follow up. But I'm tricking myself into thinking that if I spend more time in the follow ups, that I'll be able to squeeze something out of there. But it's not true. I'm just tricking myself. It does seem like you follow up with a lot of people. Yeah, for sure. A lot less nowadays. So like I've trimmed the fat for the most part, and I've been doing that at night, like really just going into my follow up leads and be like, who am I following up with here? And like, is it truly a follow up? No, I'm just gonna delete them. So now I've trimmed it to the point where I'm following up with like 3 to 4 people a day, right? Um, and they're on the warmer side. So like that's why I felt really good about yesterday. I followed up with like a handful of people and connected with people, and those are people that I want to be following up with. That woman going through probate, um, the guy who's waiting on his tenant to buy the property that he's never going to. Like that guy wants to sell. He's told me that he wants to sell. He just wants to sell to his tenant because it's going to be convenient, but that's not going to happen. So that's somebody who I'm willing. That's probably the least amount of motivation that I should be willing to follow up with somebody on, right? Because he's told me that he wants to sell, but he's for some reason given his tenant all the time in the world, right? That's like the least amount of motivation that I should be taking in terms of who I'm following up with. Anything less than that, it's not worth my time. Like, hello,
Hello?
hi, Miss Harris.
Hello?
Hi there. This is Derek. I was giving you a call about a property I believe you own on Chasewood Drive.
What about it?
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick call. I wanted to see if you'd ever consider an offer on your property there.
No, not at this time.
Oh, okay, completely understand. You think you would be interested in the near future at all?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Like I was saying, anything less than that. Like some people I had on my follow-up list that like it kind of seemed like they may be interested, but didn't even say that they were interested. Like that's not somebody who I'm wanting to follow up with. The bare minimum should be if I'm following up with them, it's because at one point in time they told me that they were interested in selling. And then even then, there should probably be a little bit something above and beyond that, like some motivation or, you know, like I used to hold myself to I think a better standard. Like I wouldn't really consider somebody a lead that would be worth following up with unless I was able to get like two two of the four pre-qualifying pillars, which is something that I want to get back into the habit of doing. Um, like if they're gonna tell me, yeah, I'm interested in selling, but like call me in like a week, and I call them in a week, they don't answer. I want to hold myself to a standard and say like, okay, I'll call them for like another couple of months, but if I'm never able to get a hold of them again, I'm gonna toss them, right? Um, and kind of hold that again. So like if they're gonna say, yeah, I'm interested in selling, I'll follow up with them for a little bit. But if I'm not able to get at least two of the four pre-qualifying pillars shortly thereafter, then I'm not gonna waste my time. If I'm able to get two of the four pre-qualifying pillars and it seems like something that may convert, I'll give them a little bit more time, right? Like 6 to 12 months that I'll follow up with them. And then obviously, if I get like three or four of the pre-qualifying pillars, that should be somebody that I'm following up with like weekly, if not daily, because they're wanting to sign a contract ASAP. All right, that's the end of that list right there. I don't think I got one no so far today, and like a couple hundred properties again. Right. I wish there was a way. Oh, I forgot that people text, yeah, stop. See, like this is so like she texted me stop. So what I can do is just remove that number. I forget that that's a thing in CallTools. Is you can come in and see. You can actually, I think, text them back even. Yeah, you can. I'll call you back. That's just like a lot of them are just kind of a pre-templated. Like that makes sense. Like the phone automatically sends the text when they miss your call. But like this guy who says "f you," that's probably somebody that I can just go ahead and delete. Text me again. It's one of those automatic replies. Can I call you later? Same thing, automatic reply. What's up, Derek and Jared? What's up, Sophisticated One? What's going on, man? Hop into this Fort Bend County liens campaign here. In your opinion, how do you determine whether or not a seller is worth going after expressing minimum interest? Kind of just talked about that. I think it comes down to like how much information you're able to pull and how many of the pre-qualifying pillars you're able to check off the list. So, if it's really going to come down to like your own personal standards that you set for yourself, and that's what I was just mentioning. I'm really wanting to set myself higher standards of who I'm following up with. So I think at the minimum, I'm going to need at least 2 of the 4 pre-qualifying pillars to make it worth my time, being motivation, timeline, condition, price. So, and price being the biggest one and the most difficult to typically obtain from the seller, but it's the biggest one because if that's the only one that I get from them and they give me a number that's unrealistic, I'm not going to follow up with them, right? So I could get the condition and it could be in horrible condition, but if they have a crazy well, I guess it depends. It really does depend on each seller because some of them might just. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
James, how's it going? This is Derek. Was giving you a quick call about a property I believe you own on Windswept Drive.
Yeah, don't call again.
Okay. Thanks for your time. I swear I talked to somebody on this property yesterday. Whatever. Not interested. Contact me. It may be again. I'll mark it no contact if somebody picks up and they don't answer. Like if the line connects to me and I say hello. But back to your question. Sophisticated One. I'm just setting myself to higher standards. So I'm trying to get at least the condition motivation or the motivation and the timeline or the condition and the timeline or again if the price is reasonable and there's nothing I'm down to follow up with them if they give me a reasonable price and I'm just unable to pull out any of the other information. I don't know why that would be the case. Maybe I caught them at a bad time or something, but I think it really does just come down to like an internal feeling or an internal standard that you hold yourself to. Like, what, that person isn't worth following up with. In your past 2 deals, were they really motivated already, or did you kind of have to convert them into leads? No, the 2 deals were like almost one call closes, My first deal, hello?
Chicken on the real low.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I think I dialed the wrong number here. My first deal, I called and she was like, yeah, we want to sell. Call tomorrow so you can speak with the husband. I called tomorrow and the husband hopped on the phone, was like, yeah, I'm glad you called. We're going into debt. We need to sell. The place is horrible condition. And I made him an offer and he accepted it. And I sent him the agreement and he signed it. Like if you add up the amount of time that it took, you know, excluding that first phone call where she just told me to call back tomorrow, I probably spoke with these people for, you know, I mean, the phone call itself probably took 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. Uh, to be able to get them and agree on a price. And then I probably sat on the phone with them for another 15 minutes just to have them sign. So they're motivated and did not take any follow up in order to get the contract signed. Same thing for the second one. The second one, I called the guy. He said he wanted
Speak with you, so give me the pertinent info.
he said he wanted to sell. I pre-qualified him, figured out the condition, figured out his timeline, what his expectation of price was. I told him that I'd call him back in like an hour after I ran the numbers, called him back. He answered. We negotiated for another 5-10 minutes, agreed on a price, sent him the contract. He signed it right away while I was on the phone. So both of them were, honestly, total time 60 minutes from initial point of contact to the contract being signed. No follow-up required. And I know that's rare, but that's what happened for the two deals that I've done. Like conscript, one question is, other than the price, what's another reason that you're considering selling? Yeah, that is a good one. Another areas of life, I'm just not saying things. Never knew I had to do wholesale as well. Thanks for that tip. Yeah, for sure. He said, don't call again. I might have even connected with him yesterday. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Todd?
Yeah.
Todd, how's it going? This is Derek. Was giving you a quick call about a property I believe you own on Woodwind Drive.
That my ex-wife owns that. She got it in the divorce.
Oh, okay. Would you happen to know if she have any interest in selling that place there?
Probably not.
No, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the call.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Bye now.
Bye.
I'll take his word for it. Oh, nice and easy there. Most people say it takes an average of 8 contacts before getting it. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Thomas?
Yeah?
Thomas, how's it going? This is Derek. Was giving you a call about a property I believe you own on Arrowhead Drive.
Don't you guys ever get tired of calling people that don't want to sell their house?
Oh, there's no interest in selling that one there?
Never.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the call. No, I don't get tired of it. Yeah, and that probably is the case. Sophisticated one. Like I said, I know that's rare to be able to connect with somebody that quickly and get the contract. Man, I hope Brad can get a deal within an hour of contact. You will if you call enough. You know what I mean? I think I got blessed. I'm not even going to sit here and try to act like I called a crazy amount to be able to come across an opportunity like that. I think I got blessed. I don't know if luck is the right word because I was putting in the work. I kind of created my own luck, but for it to happen kind of back to back like that was I think pretty coincidental, and I think I got blessed. I take his word too, not with distress. Yeah, and I wasn't gonna like ask for her number or anything like that. I think there was one other number attached to the property, so I was considering just saying wrong number since it wasn't, he didn't actually retain ownership of the property, and maybe try the other number, but I'll just go ahead and take his word for it. Oh no, hang up. Nice way of nice way of controlling. Yeah, it ain't no thing. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, John.
Uh,
John, how's it going? This is Derek. Hey, I was giving you a call about a property I believe you own on 6th Street.
you got to call this number, 281-499-2509.
Okay, thank you. I swear I connected with that guy yesterday too. Uh, I remember it. It just may actually be another property that they own or something. It's not worth my time. It sounds like some type of a fund or group or something that owns a bunch of properties, and the likelihood of them wanting to sell it to me at a discount is probably low. He sounds familiar. Yeah, I think I talked with him yesterday on a different number, possibly even a different property. Yeah. I think yesterday because I can see all the numbers, they all start with 499. Probably just calling. They probably have multiple numbers, all kind of like routing back to the same person. Because I would have for sure removed that number yesterday, and I think I just connected with him on a different number. He's a problem. I don't know who he is, but he's not a motivated seller. He's directing me to call some other number. Like I said, it's just again comes down to like whether or not I think it's worth my time. I really don't think it is. I think I'll probably call that number, and then it's going to be some type of huge group or fund or somebody who. Hello. Hey, Jesus.
Who's this?
Hey, this is Derek.
Who are you looking for?
Mr. Flores.
No, you got the wrong number, man.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I could see myself calling that number that he's providing me, and then them being like, again, like a call center type. It's not going to be a motivated seller that has a problem that I can solve. It's going to be somebody who is probably managing like a number of properties or. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hi, Estella.
No, you have the wrong number.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Interesting. I'm still getting so many wrong numbers after calling through the list so many times. Mm-hmm. 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 A little dry, a little dry. About 130 properties left on the list here. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Ah, damn it. Hung up on her when she said something. CRM you use, Jarvis. I don't really use like a central CRM. Hello? I just have my follow-ups in the specific platform in which I generate my leads. So if I cold call somebody and I generate a lead through my dialer, I'm gonna set my follow-up tasks and my follow-up calls within like the dialer's CRM. In CallTools, it's called calendar events. So I'm just setting myself a calendar event in the future to say, hey, hello,
Oh,
hey Philip,
hey, how you doing, man?
doing well, doing well. How about yourself?
I'm short on some apples, those yellow apples.
Okay, okay. Hey,
Mhm.
yeah, this is Derek. I just wanted to give you a quick call about a property I believe you own on Quail Meadow Court.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I just wanted to call you and see if you'd ever consider an offer on your property there. You ever considered selling?
Oh, that's not me. That's my son.
Oh, okay, okay.
You have to call him.
Okay. You
I
think?
don't think so. He just moved there a few years ago.
Gotcha. Okay. While I have you, would you happen to have any?
No, no.
No.
Days are bad enough. No.
Okay. What?
Oh, okay, thanks for calling, okay?
Yeah, appreciate you taking the call. Have a good day.
All right.
Again, I'll take his word for it. And just to finish my thought there, Jarvis, and then if I generate my lead through texting, I'll do the same thing. Kind of just set myself the follow up tasks within the texting platform. So both my text platform and my dialer have the ability to kind of set future calendar events, and that's what I'm using to remind myself to follow up with people. But other than that, I'll leave, and same thing, like I'll be taking notes within the specific platform. So if I'm texting somebody, each platform has the ability to take notes, set future follow-up tasks, um, tag it. So I just kind of use the CRM that's built into both my dialer and my texting platform. I don't really have a central CRM. Just glad to see realistic cold calling sessions. The gurus call warm pre-qualified leads are actually cold calling. Yeah, I always hated that too, to be honest. That's why I really like Luke, that we were talking about yesterday, who I pretty much imitate his cold calling sessions. I really liked that he shared everybody, all the no's, all the cursing, cursing you out, all the. I was like really happy when I found his channel because it was exactly that. I wasn't trying to, they're always cold calling videos, but then you get there and it's like a warm or hot lead that their phone prospector generated for them, and they're already entering into the conversation with like, yeah, I wouldn't even say it's a cold call at all. I was gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say it's a cold call for them because it's the first time that they are talking to them, but it's still not cold. Um, they're already pre-qualified. Not to knock any of those people, but yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of clickbait, because that's what people are wanting to see. They're wanting to see the realistic, the actual, like, what do you do when you get somebody on the phone that you've never talked to before? How do you ask if they're wanting to sell their property? That's what I was looking for, which is why I was glad to have come across Luke, and that's why it motivated me to honestly do the same thing and just share that with you guys because I know that that was something that I looked for, and I know that I'm sure other people were looking for it as well. Okay.
Nice data.
Sure.
Um,
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I haven't. Soon, within the next few days. Myself. My fault. I was on mute. What do you mean, Jarvis? We got to use other marketing. What do you mean by that? And sophisticated one. I just read what you said. It gave the fake impression. Yeah. Again, that's what I never liked that either. I came across videos like that all the time. And again, I it's just clickbait. Knowing that people are wanting to see actual cold calling, and then to get on the video and it not really be a cold call. It's already a pre-qualified lead. And I'm sure, like you said, I'm sure that is the reason why people quit because they see that thinking that, oh, wow, it's that easy. Like, I just call somebody, and if I call enough people, I'm going to get, somebody like that on the phone. But they don't really, I mean, there are videos out there, but um, they're not like connected with the cold calling topic, right? Because those same people are posting videos about the expectations, right? You got to call this many hundred people before you get like a real qualified lead. So those videos are out there, but again, they're not like intertwined with the cold calling videos. When somebody wants to see cold calling, they're trying to get, at least this is what I was trying to get. I was trying to find somebody to set the expectation of, okay, how long do I have to be cold calling to talk to somebody like that? And to find a quote unquote cold calling video and it just be like two conversations to connect with somebody, like not even, it's the first one. They call them and then they connect with them and they say, hey, it's just their highlights. They're not even, and even some of the cold calling videos are edited, right? And they're just going to show you the highlights. They may be dialing for 5 hours and they're just going to trim the fat off the videos and show you the 30 minutes where they had really productive conversations. When I ask around, they say they couldn't get a deal or they had a hard time. From watching, I see is it set up for ego destruction for failed high expectations. Yeah, ringless voicemail. So I use ringless voicemail, Jarvis, not to like a crazy high degree, but my texting platform offers ringless voicemail. So if you've heard me before, I add them to a drip campaign when I initially add them to my texting, and all I have to do is add them to the campaign and press play, and they will get that initial text on day one. And if they don't reply to that within 5 minutes, they'll get a ringless voicemail. And then if they haven't replied by day two, they'll get another text and ringless voicemail. And then if they haven't replied by day three, they get another text. And that's the last time. I only send off two ringless voicemails the first 2 days. And then it's kind of staggered on when they get followed up with the text if they haven't replied. But then once they reply, they get removed and they're not going to keep getting texted. Few people on YouTube actually cold call. Most is fluff. Sad. I was scared of cold calling due to reading negative comments until I found your channel. You inspired me that cold calling won't kill you. Appreciate that. And it certainly won't kill you. That's for sure. That is for sure. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, is Mr. Sandals?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how's it going?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah, this is Derek. Just giving you a call about a property I believe you own on Long Barrel Lane.
Oh, that's a hot item. Everybody want to buy that property. It's not for sale, man. I appreciate you calling, but that property's not for sale.
Sure. I appreciate you taking the call. While I have you, would you happen to have any others you might consider selling at the moment?
Oh, no, sir. No,
No.
sir. Everything I got is for keep.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you
But
again.
I appreciate it. At
Absolutely.
least I know if I get ready to get rid of something, I can call somebody.
Yeah.
That's a
Save
good
my
thing.
number.
If I got something somebody want, I know I'm all right.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you have a good day.
All right, you too. You have a blessed day. God bless you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
bye now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, what a nice guy. Trying to kind of shoo him off the phone a little quicker, but it's always kind of a breath of fresh air getting somebody like that on the phone. Kind of offsets the negativity from the other type. Love them calls, yeah, for sure. Due to your channel, I'm going towards the beast known as real estate. A beast it is. Oh boy, playing games. He letting you know if someone wants his house, he wants retail. Yeah, which is fine. I don't even. It may not even be him wanting retail, but he just doesn't want to sell. He's probably not even thinking about. Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Denise.
Yes.
Denise, how's it going? This is Derek. Was giving you a call about a property I believe you own on Santa Cristi Drive. I feel like she hung up once I said my name. But yeah, I don't even think that it was about the value, sophisticated one. I don't even think he's not even thinking about numbers. He just doesn't want to sell. Sounds like he did have a few properties too, and just not crossing his mind. He said everything's for keeps. I'll see you. Love them calls. Love his energy though. Yeah. So everyone was like him. It'll make his job easier and pleasant. Yep. And I think the best way to you can kind of force that upon people, to be honest. I've mentioned that a few times on the channel as well. It's funny, people will jump onto the phone wanting to give you a hard time, but if you don't let it phase you and you stay with like high positive vibes, it makes it a lot harder for them to be angry and rude to you. Um, a number of times people have been like hostile as hell when they get on the phone, and then I ask about the property and they say, some type of rude no response. And then I said, "Oh, okay, completely understand. Well, I appreciate you taking the call." And they'll say, "Okay, okay, have a blessed day." Like I've gotten that a few times where somebody is just like completely, "Hello?
Yes.
Hi, Miss Brown.
Yes.
Hi, this is Derek. Hey, was giving you a quick call about a property I believe you own on Hamlink Road."
Yeah, we're not interested in selling. Thank you.
Okay, completely understand. I appreciate you taking the call. Self-preservation. Yeah, yeah. It's happened to me a few times. Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Hi, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I dialed the right number here. I was looking for the owner of a property on Meadow Trail Lane.
Yeah, that's me. We're not selling.
Oh, okay, okay. Completely understand. So their anger is more of a way to weed out scammers, I suppose. No, they're just upset. They're just upset people. They're getting calls all day. I'd be upset too. I always say it, but I don't know why these people answer their phone if they don't recognize the number. Like they'll answer and say, "Man, I get calls all day, every day about this property," and I think to myself, "Why do you keep picking the phone up?" But um, yeah, I don't know. It could be a number of things. Sophisticated one is not really my job, and I have no interest in trying to find out why they're upset. Hello,
Yes, good afternoon. Can I help you?
hi, is this David?
There is no David at this number.
Oh, I'm sorry, I might have dialed the wrong number. I was looking for the owner of a property on Pecan Point Drive.
I'm not familiar with that address.
Oh,
This is a business number.
gotcha. I might have dialed the wrong number here. I apologize.
All right, take care.
You too. Yeah, man, people are just angry. People live their lives angry. They wake up angry. And are angry until they go to sleep. And then they go to sleep and they have all these angry dreams. And then they wake up angry again. So, like I said, I really don't have any care to try to figure out. I'm just, like you kind of mentioned, self preservation. I'm worried about me and my family. And if an opportunity presents itself for me to help somebody else that could use it and would appreciate it and like my help, then I'd love to help. But if not, then we can go ahead and part ways, and we can never talk again. And I would be a okay with that, and I'm sure they would be too. Man, once you crack the door in here, it gets chilly. This cross breeze. All right, quick handful of people. A little over 20 people left on the list. God, my. Usually I'll stretch in the mornings. Didn't get a chance today. Feeling tight. Oh. About 24 more people to dial. That should only take me a couple minutes. like I said earlier, at this rate, after calling through the list so many times, each property probably only has like 1 to 2 numbers attached to it now. After I've trimmed the fat and deleted all the wrong numbers or the fax machines or the dialer, it's doing that itself as well. If they come across any like faxes or disconnected numbers, it's just going to automatically delete it. Personally, wouldn't you rather be a wholesaler or person who sells a course? Will you even consider selling a course in the near future? Not in the near future. I've thought about it. So to answer that question in kind of a long-winded response, I have been able to identify within myself that I do really enjoy sharing knowledge and educating people. That is something that I really enjoy. And you probably see that just in the YouTube space right here with you hopping on my live streams. You can probably hear it in my voice and you can hear it in my energy that I really do. I get, it fills my cup, if you will. It really does give me energy to share what I know with other people. I'm doing that with my friends and family constantly. I learn something and all I want to do is go shout it out to the world and share the knowledge, right? Um, but I do know, and that's why I always mention on. Hello,
Yes?
hi, Constance.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Derek. Hey, I would know this is a bit random here, but I was giving you a call about a property I believe you own on Covey Trail Drive.
Okay, why are you doing this?
Oh,
I'm not selling a house.
oh, okay, completely understand.
Well, how did you get my number?
I use a third-party provider. I can only assume they get their data from public records.
Oh, no, I'm not selling my house.
Okay, okay, completely understand. Well, I appreciate you taking the call anyways.
Okay, thank you.
Bye now. Uh-huh. Let it breathe for a second. Just finished the end of the list there. I think I already got that notice that I keep referring to. And that was probably the last contact that I'll get on that campaign. That was a good little example of that question right there, too. Sometimes people will ask, they don't really care about the answer. Um, she didn't care one way or another what my response to. How did you get my number? I use a third party provider. I can only assume they get their data from public records. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not selling. Okay, bye. That's a good example for you, I think. Sophisticated one. That's one of those responses where you may overthink it before you even start calling. What do I say if somebody asks how I got their number? They don't really care. You know what I mean? But to finish your question, that's why I always mention and I try my best to continue reiterating on this channel that I've never intended for this channel to be that. I've never intended for this channel to be educational, rather just as a way to kind of show you what I'm doing and how I'm learning and highlight the fact that I am learning and I'm trying my best to soak in as much knowledge and information and put it into practice. So I never intended for this channel to come. This is what I say almost every video, and I try my best to say it every video. I never intended for this channel to be like a, hey, I know what I'm doing. This is how you're supposed to wholesale. I don't know. I'm still learning every day. I don't ever want to be that person. Even if I do in the near future, after I've closed so many deals and I feel like I have something to share or sell as educational, I still want to be as transparent as possible and come across as, hey, this is what I've learned up to this point, and I've seen success with it. I still educate myself every day. So this isn't going to be the end all be all. This is how you're going to wholesale for the end of days. I'm going to continue educating myself, continue learning, and then I'll continue sharing that with you guys. So to answer your question, yeah, I do see myself actually selling some type of educational course. I'll only do it once I feel like I'm in a position where I actually have something to show for. So I've done 2 deals. Anybody can really do two deals. I'll be honest. I'm not on this putting myself on this pedestal where it's like, boom, I've done 2 deals. You guys don't know jack shit about how to do this, and I know everything. Buy my course. I'm not gonna do that. But I've probably kind of set a little benchmark for myself. Like if I closed $100,000 worth of transactions, which is my goal this year, maybe I'll consider next year. That way, I have something to show for. Hey, I've been doing this for 2 years. Last year was my biggest year. I closed $100,000 worth of transactions. This is what I've learned up until this point, and this is what I'm willing to share with you because I've implemented these things and seen success with it. So now I know it was a long-winded response, but I felt like I had to dive a little deep into that because, again, I'm just honest with myself, and I know my personality, and I know that I really do enjoy, and I take a lot away from sharing the knowledge that I have with other people. Um, but at this point, I don't feel comfortable charging anybody for that, but rather just kind of having things like this set up for people to soak it in for free and allow them to be the the buck stops with you guys. You guys are the ones who are determining whether or not what I'm saying is accurate. Do your own due diligence, right? Don't just take what I'm saying as Bible and, oh well, Derek said this. That's how you do it. No, do your due diligence. Go follow multiple other people on YouTube. Soak in as much information and knowledge as possible. And the buck stops with you guys. You determine whether or not, what to implement, what to try, what to put into practice so that you can then say, hey, I'm seeing success by doing what Derek does. I'm seeing success by doing what this other person does on YouTube or this other person. And that's what I do. And that's why I never shy away from telling you guys the people that I follow. Luke Rotville, I take his initial pitch on the cold call and I say it verbatim, except for the out of the blue, I replace it with random. And I'm always gonna shout him out because he inspired me to make this YouTube channel. And why would I not? I'm not gonna try to hoard all of you guys and say like, don't listen to anybody else, just listen to me. Like, no. And I again am very open about who I follow, who I'm educating myself from, and that's what I'm doing. I'm taking bits and pieces from different people's business models and trying to make it my own and trying to put it into practice to see if I can generate some success with it. And I urge you guys to do the same. I know some wholesalers went into sales after they did wholesaling a while. When I first saw you, I see Malcolm X provider, Professor Vibe. I could see you teaching. Oh yeah, it's funny. I know you're saying that just because of the glasses, but I've worked one contacts my whole life, but and shits are expensive. When I first sorry, ma'am, you handled her with grace. Yeah, yeah. It's gotta be nice. Don't get tripped up just because they want to know some information. Sometimes they're just curious. That woman just asked, "How did you get my number?" I have a response. I don't know if you saw. I looked down at my script. I use a third-party provider. I can only assume that they get their data from public records. Oh, okay. Well, no, I'm not interested in selling. Okay, thanks for taking the call, anyways. Like, don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Nice. I'm using that line. Oh, yep. I would have panicked. Right. Right. Some gurus' egos are. Ooh, you cannot talk to them. I've heard horror stories. Yeah, and I'm not here to talk bad about anybody. I don't know anybody personally in the business, um, except for you guys. I know you guys personally. I would like to think I know you guys personally. Stand up for this one.
Hello?
Hey, Morris, how's it going? This is Derek.
Oh, good.
How are you?
Yeah, good, good. Listen, I have a situation here. I don't know exactly what's going on here. You know how I wanted to check my tenant over there in Smithville?
Yeah.
Well, somebody got those pictures that I sent you, and they're on the internet, and the house is for sale for $235 on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, no, okay.
And of course, he showed up.
Oh,
He
jeez.
saw it, and now he's all, he's getting ready to leave, and I'm telling you, I'm really, really pissed off about this, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I should take legal action or what, because it's going to cost me money, because some asshole put my house on for sale on the internet
Jeez.
without my permission.
Right.
So,
Completely understand where you're coming from, and I greatly apologize.
I know you understand. I'm really pissed off. I mean, he is, and I am, and everybody is. Because that wasn't the deal.
Right.
So, did you let somebody else put those pictures on the internet?
No. That is kind of a practice that we entertain. We're gonna explore all of our exit strategies. We're either gonna buy it, fix it up, and sell it. Buy it, fix it up, or have a new tenant move in. But if there is somebody that's willing to come along and kind of pay more than what we're willing to pay for it, we would entertain just kind of passing along the opportunity. By no means did I ever intend for anybody to go over there and hassle the tenant. I knew that was a main concern for you.
The tenant happened to go on Facebook Marketplace, and he happened to see that his house and with all the that I sent was on the web.
Gotcha.
He didn't appreciate it. I certainly don't appreciate it. You didn't have my permission to do that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you going to do for me, or otherwise, should I go ahead and take legal action, or what?
No, this is
I don't. This is uncalled for. You did not have a permission for me to list my property, and this is totally illegal as far as I'm concerned.
This is what I'm kind of thinking in the back of my mind when you're talking, something that I'd like to do for you if you're willing. I could reach out to the tenant personally, reassure them kind of what has happened thus far with the transaction between me and you, and let them know that it had been canceled, so that they have nothing to worry about. If that's something that you're interested in, I can definitely do that for you.
Well, that might help. I don't know, but
Yeah.
he's already applying because he thought that meant for sure I was selling it.
Yeah.
He thought it was me. When he called me, I said, no, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
You have his number?
No, I don't have his number.
We need to call him up, and particularly his wife, because he is kind of in law enforcement, although he's not a policeman.
Gotcha.
And they're a little bit concerned about having stuff out on the internet.
Yeah, completely understand where they're coming from and where you're coming from. And again, I do greatly apologize. And I hope that, me reaching out and just reassuring him, hey, this is what was going on, and it's essentially not happening at this point. They have nothing to worry about. I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to put their concerns to rest. Definitely.
His
Definitely.
wife tried to get it taken off. They wouldn't even answer him.
Do you want to just text it to me? That way you can kind of go through the phone while we're off the phone.
Yeah, and then I'll if you can tell him to text me, then that he's talked to you.
Absolutely. What I'll do is I'll round back with you the second that I speak with them, and let you know that I have spoken with them, and then I'll also ask that they reach out to you so that you guys can have that conversation.
Okay.
All right, and if you can just include the phone number and the names of who I'm reaching out to.
Okay, I'm gonna text you right now. You found it.
Okay, sounds good. And again, Morris, I greatly apologize for this. This was definitely not my intention, and I truly am sorry here.
Okay, well, this kind of killed the deal with many of y'all people, because if this is the way y'all do things, it's highly immoral, and if you didn't have my permission to put I sent those pictures in good faith that it was between you and I.
Right.
Not me and you in the World Wide Web.
I gotcha.
So it is his stuff that I took a picture of, although I don't really see where he should be that upset about it. I mean, it is just stuff. I mean, nobody going to say something like we took a picture of a ball full of gold.
Right.
Okay.
While I have you, actually, hey Morris, while I have you, now that you mentioned that, just so that I know, is that kind of the concern there, was that, it was his personal belongings?
Yeah, that was his personal. Yeah,
okay.
That's what he said. His stuff was shown on the internet.
Sure.
I mean, didn't seem like to me it was anything worth. I mean, he was there when I took the picture.
Right, right,
But of course, he was on the impression it was between me and
right,
you know
right.
you, or actually, I told him as the insurance guy.
Gotcha,
I needed to have pictures of the inside, but
gotcha.
so being expected to be on the World Wide Web. So
Right,
I
right.
mean, I understand his point, but it seemed like he's over exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah, no, I
But
gotcha.
I think what he thought was, I meant for sure that I was selling the place.
Right, right. So yeah, that's for sure. What I'll kind of focus the conversation around the personal belongings, reassure him that the pictures will be removed and that he has no concern and nothing to worry about because the deal didn't end up going through regardless.
Okay.
All right, all right. I'll be on the lookout for that text. I appreciate you reaching out, huh?
Yeah, I'll be sending in about a minute.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Bye now. That's not what I expected. Jeez. That is a learning lesson. Something that I had actually thought about in the past, especially after this deal, was I need to go through and I need to remove the marketing after something like that falls through or goes through, right? So the tenant found the pictures. Sheesh. So I have one more difficult conversation after I call the tenants, kind of put their concerns at ease, and hopefully they don't move out, and hopefully this guy doesn't take legal action. He's not going to take legal action. And he kept saying that I didn't have permission to do that, but I did. I didn't want to say that to him. It would have just made things worse. But in the agreement, it said that I have permission to market the property. So again, I didn't want to say that like, no, you signed the agreement that said I could market it. Like that would have just made things worse. I'm going to pull up the agreement though, just to be sure that that was the case. I wouldn't have. It's like a must in these type of situations. It would have been under special provisions. Maybe I didn't. Oof. I think that's where I would have put it. Buyer to pay all closing costs, not including any unpaid taxes. Buyer's option to order a survey if title work is not complete after the inspection period. Maybe I didn't. That is a huge mistake on my end. So to issue the tenant 30 days after the property should be delivered vacant at the time of closing. Settlement and other expenses. Wow, I can't believe that I sent that to him without. Buyer accepts the property as his property condition. Not subject to management. Wow, I can't believe that. That is my mistake. That's me trying to be cute about it and use this TREC, the Texas Real Estate Commission. Wow, I admit where my mistake in this. That's definitely something that I should not have done. Wow, crazy. That's my fault. That's my fault for sure. This is my biggest fear. This is why I don't like to post things on Facebook Marketplace. You doing good though, bro. Your hand is like a pro. Lord help Derek. Amen. You got this. I don't see how you're staying so calm. I see you saying calm him down. Send the deals to buyers via other ways. You handle this well. This is the biggest fear or objection I had. Seeing this is dope and calming. Was he the seller or mobile notary? He's a seller. I'm assuming seller. Oh no. Oh, the tenant of the seller. That's a no. That's a no. I'm gonna slap myself on the wrist there. That's a big no. And I hope that you guys can take away from that. I don't know why I didn't put that in there. It's again, I think it was just me trying to be cute about this because he was a savvy investor. He has multiple properties, and I knew that he was going to want to see the agreement on this on this Texas Real Estate Commission. It's just the official contract, that's typically used for on market properties. And I figured that I would have added it into the special provisions, which is a little area where you can kind of freeform and type in the like nuances of the deal. And I was thinking to myself the whole time he was saying he didn't give me permission. I was thinking to myself, yes, you did, because you signed it and it says in there that I have permission to market the property, but it doesn't.
and that's my fault. I'm gonna beat myself up about that. You guys should beat me up about it too, and you guys should uh, take that as a learning lesson because I certainly am. I'm never gonna be cute about this shit anymore because in my pre-templated agreements that I've used that I have drafted myself that are not these official Texas Real Estate Commission documents. Um, I have that written in there. Buyer entitled or seller gives buyer permission to market the property. And in this case, I guess I just did not write it in. I'm still like looking at all the sections to see if there's somewhere in here that it says it, but doesn't matter at this point. That's crazy. Damn, I feel really bad now. Good to see you learning, Derek. Man, I'm learning so much. Yeah, I learned from my mistakes, man. Hopefully, this guy doesn't take me to court. Uh, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. And now I'm really glad that I didn't say like, no, you gave me permission. You know, I knew that that wasn't gonna help the situation anyways. But I want to see something. Oh, can't believe that. Yeah, I was just being cute about it. And I had drafted this agreement. I'm looking at another one where I thought that I had it and maybe removed it, but what I removed was I have the right to record a memorandum of contract. I had removed that because I was like, I'm not going to record a memorandum. Uh, that was one draft of it because I again had drafted like multiple versions of this before sending it over. I can't believe that. He saw it too. All I had to do was remove it. It would have been all good, but he saw it and out and started looking for new places, packing up their belongings. Shit. I haven't gotten this text yet. I'm going into marketplace. You guys, I feel so horrible. I cannot believe I did that. Don't beat yourself up too much. This is a learning experience. Once you talk it out later with your girl and you get some rest, wake up tomorrow, refresh, and take stride. Yeah, for real. That is, here I was thinking that he was gonna call me and be like, "Yo, I thought about it again, and I want to sell at a lower price." Okay, he emailed me. Can you text me your phone number? As I do not have it in my phone as it shows up as spam. Jesus. Okay, well that's that too. I need a new sideline phone number. God, it is going crazy right now. But you handled it good. I would have had a mini panic attack. I was having a mini panic attack. My heart's still racing. Drop the phone, voice shaking, sweat, and over apologize. You did okay, Derek. Spam. Oh God, what a day. Yeah, what a day. I'm telling you. And yeah, my heart's still racing. I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie to you guys. That's this is what I really wanted to start the channel for. I'm gonna give the tenants a call now while my heart's still racing. Oh no, he needed my phone number so that he could text me. Yeah, wow, how bad does that look? And I call him back from a spam number. You guys, oh my God, seeing you fall, scrape your knees, and still finishing the race is inspiring in itself. Well, I appreciate you saying that, but God, I feel like a fraud. I'm not gonna lie. This is exactly why everybody wants to implement these regulations into the business. But yeah, I mean, it was a mistake. It was a mistake that I made. It wasn't my intention. I should have crossed my T's and dotted my I's, especially when it came to the agreement. That's really what I'm beating myself up. I don't, this is gonna happen. Um, when you're gonna market the property and somebody's gonna see it and it's gonna get back to the seller. That's gonna happen, especially when you start doing it at volume, right? I never expected that it would happen this soon for me, but you hear horror stories like that all the time. So I've already kind of been under the assumption that that was gonna happen eventually. Again, I didn't know it was gonna happen so soon, but what is not okay is that I didn't have his permission to do that, and he's totally right. It was just an oversight issue for me. I completely forgot to, I guess, forgot to include the. Like I said, typically I will say that in the agreement, buyer has the right to market the property, and I just failed to do that because there were so many moving parts with his tenants, him not wanting his tenants to find out. So I had included all like, what are the other provisions that I had in there? Um, just to read it to you guys. I was like trying to get too cute about it, and I just completely forgot to put that in. And that's what's not okay about it. And that's what I'm beating myself up about. I don't really care that I have to deal with this and talk with the tenants again. I know that that's going to happen. It's going to get back to the seller, but if it gets back to the seller, I could have, I can easily point to the agreement where I say, hey, look, I have permission to market the property, but in this case, I did not. And he has every right to take legal action against me for that reason. In here it says, buyer to pay all closing costs, not including any unpaid taxes, liens, or judgments. Buyer has the option to order a survey upon buyer's request. If title work is not complete by closing date, closing shall happen within a 60-day period once title work is complete. After the inspection period, seller to issue the tenant a 30-day notice to vacate, and the property shall be delivered vacant at the time of closing. So I was really overly concerned about the whole him issuing the notice to his tenant and having it delivered vacant and the inspection period. That's what our conversation was revolving around. Um, and I just completely disregarded the marketing piece. Oh, can you text me your phone number? And yeah, he seemed to calm down at the end there. I wanted to provide some type of a solution to him. I'm hoping that will suffice. Um, and that he because like I said, he kind of calmed down at the end. Like he was kind of started to take my side. Like the tenant's freaking out for no reason, really. I mean, I'm not selling the place, so going ahead and taking this stuff down. Try to at least. How the hell did they see that? Probably like popped up because of the algorithm or some crazy stuff. Like they live there, so it made it like popped up for them specifically. Like, hey, isn't this your address? Um, I know, buddy. Give me 1 minute. Dog's getting all antsy now. Let me go ahead and delete this. Oh, the deal's over. Yes, that made them see it. Yes, what made it see? I don't know what made them see it. Yeah, the deal's over. We canceled the agreement. Whoa, 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 whoa. None of that. I want to see if they reached out to me because I have a few unanswered messages for the marketplace listing. Probably this person. I have spoken to the owner of this house and he would like you to call him ASAP. He said you have the info. How do I just go to the listing? There we go. Edit. I guess I can just go in and delete all the pictures and there's nowhere here that shows me just delete. Oh, I got it, buddy. Yo, this is really bothersome. Can't even just go delete it. Like, what's going on? Show navigation task manager. Your listings. Delete listing. There we go. Still hasn't texted me back. And then I also want to delete it from the groups. Yeah, marketplace is bunk. Man, for this last deal, all you'll get 3 more. Manifest it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of hassle for a deal that didn't end up going through, huh? 1 second, buddy. Really wish that he would text me. It would honestly make me feel a little bit better to have reached out to them. Going through now and deleting all the posts in the groups that I posted it to as well. If I don't see anything in a second, I'm gonna try to find their information here on this Facebook because I think they reached out to me via Facebook. All right, so I've been able to delete it from like 6, 7 groups and marketplace. Well, price list, make sure it's down off there as well. It's deleted. I don't know if it's been deleted by somebody else. I've never seen that deleted. Uh, is this the deal you were working on with the girl who spoke Spanish? No, no. There's another one. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take my dog out real quick to run to the bathroom, and then I'm gonna see. One second, buddy. 1 second. Oh, now I can't see their message because I deleted the post. So I have one Constance that lives in Smithville, Texas. Maybe that's her. I can't find her messages now because I deleted the post. Let's see if she went crazy about something. I don't see. Why isn't he texting me back? One second, guys. I'll be right back. Give me a minute, buddy. If you're like me, you're gonna beat yourself up about this obsessively for the rest of the night for sure. But by tomorrow, you'll feel better and feel refreshed. Hopefully, man. I appreciate you staying positive about this sophisticated one. Yeah. Give him a number, another number to text to. I'll give him my Google Voice number. Morris, I haven't received the tenant's information yet. If that number that I provided to you doesn't, for whatever reason, you can send the tenant's information to my partner's number at kind of want to just give him a second before I start giving him all these other numbers because I'm pretty sure that other number's spam too. Yeah, this is her. I can literally see the pictures of the property in the background. To serve and protect law enforcement, police. Let me see if I can find her phone number on here. Contact and basic info. No contact information. So I'll just I can send her a message here. What do you guys think? Should I send her a message on Facebook? Give her my contact information and say, hey, spoke with Morris, the owner of the property that I believe you live in. And try to diffuse the situation there. I want to reassure you that it was not my intention at all to disrespect you or your belongings and home. Me and Morris had been discussing a possible agreement for us to acquire the property, but it ended up not going through. I know that there's some concern there with you guys thinking that the property will be sold, but I want to reassure you that not only the pictures and everything have been removed from the internet, but that the agreement actually ended up not moving forward. So you have nothing to worry about. What do you think? Should I say that? Should I send a message to her on Facebook like that? And then give her my contact information. Sure, everyone's on Facebook most of the day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she had reached out to me via Facebook. And then give her my contact information. If you'd like to discuss further or have any other concerns, please feel free to reach out to me at this number. I'll type that up, and if I don't hear back from him before I have that fully typed up, I will go ahead and send it off. Nonsense. I believe you had messaged me regarding property on 6th Street. You guys. first and foremost, I want to offer my sincere apologies for any disrespect or lack of professionalism. Um, my most sincere apologies for any disrespect or lack of professionalism that was showcased here. I understand that you had come across a listing of your home I believe you had messaged me regarding the property on 6th Street that you currently reside in. I have spoken with Morris, the owner of the property, and he has he had explained to me the concerns. First and foremost, I want to offer my most sincere apologies for any disrespect or lack of professionalism that was showcased here. I understand that you had come across a listing of your home. I completely understand the anger and frustration that you may have experienced. Seeing that. Morris and I had been in communication about a possible agreement to purchase for us to purchase a property there, and it is common practice for us to explore multiple exit strategies when acquiring new properties, internet listings being one of them. Constance, I believe you had see, and this is why I knew this was going to be an issue too. Is like he wanted to keep his tenants in the dark. Personally, I would wait until my thoughts calm down so I can make a logical decision. But it's your deal, so use your discernment on best course of action. Trust yourself. Yeah, I think I just want to get ahead of it. I want to get ahead of it, and not only get ahead of it, but be done with it. He's not texting me the information, so I don't know what he's doing or thinking right now. Oh no! All that just got deleted when oh no, it didn't. Hey, Constance, I believe you had messaged me regarding the property on 6th Street that you currently reside in. I have spoken with Morris, the owner of the property, and he explained to me the concerns. First and foremost, I want to offer my most sincere apologies for any disrespect or lack of professionalism that was showcased here. I understand that you had come across the listing of your home, and I completely understand the anger and frustration that you may have experienced when seeing that. Morris and I had been in communication about it, about possible agreement for us to purchase that property there, and it is common practice for us to explore multiple exit strategies when acquiring new properties, internet listings being one of them. The conversation ended up fading out, and fading out, and we and Morris. I don't want to speak for him, but stuff scaring me. Conversation ended up fading out, and purchasing that property. I'm gonna go ahead and send this first half. Let's say a conversation between Morris and I ended up fading out, and we are not moving forward with acquiring that property. I wanted to reach out to you directly and again apologize for any uh any I wanted to reach out to you directly and again apologize uh for any lack of respect that I showcased by not only um I want to apologize um for any lack of respect that I showcased by presenting those pictures of your personal home. I fully understand where you are. I want to reassure you that all marketing pieces for your property have been removed and that um, you have nothing to worry about in regards to the property changing ownership. We are not moving forward with any. To reach out to you directly and again apologize for any lack of respect that I showcased by presenting those pictures of your personal home and belongings. Fully understand where you're coming from. I want to reassure you that all marketing pieces for your property have been removed and that you have nothing to worry about in regards to the property changing ownership. Um, Morris had explained that that you, let's say, it is clear that you and Morris have a great relationship and he thinks very highly of you. Sorry that my actions have uh, may have tempered with that relationship. If you have any further questions or would like to speak to me directly, please feel free to reach out. My direct line is 832 You're so busy working a 9 to 5 and having a cap or over your head on how much you can make. No begging, no one, or asking for time off. You're in a good field and everything has its signals. You're fine. Keep going. It'll work out. Don't let the sender scare you. No matter what he says, just stand your ground. Exit the deal with apologies and professionalism. Everyone makes mistakes. He'll laugh about this the next 6 months to 1 year. Hopefully. Why did he want tenant in the dark? Because they've been there for 10 years and he only wanted to loop them in once he was sure that he was going to sell it. So he was gonna be the bad guy regardless. You know, if I said, okay, we're moving forward, he would have kicked him out. But he only wanted to kick him out if he knew that I was gonna buy it, and I didn't end up buying it. So, or I didn't end up finding a buyer to buy it. So he didn't have to be the bad guy anyways. And now that happened. So let me reread this. Hey, Constance, I believe you had messaged me regarding the property on 6th Street that you currently reside in. I have spoken with Morris, the owner of the property. He had explained to me the concerns. First and foremost, I want to offer my most sincere apologies for any disrespect or lack of professionalism that was showcased here. I understand that you had come across the listing of your home, and I completely understand the anger and frustration that you may have experienced when seeing that. Morris and I had been in communication about a possible agreement for us to purchase that property there, and it is common practice for us to explore multiple exit strategies when acquiring new properties, internet listings being one of them. That conversation between Morris and I ended up fading out, and we are not moving forward with any type of agreement in acquiring that property. And he seemed like he was lying to them and stuff. He said that he needed the pictures for insurance. Like, I should have just stayed away from this deal altogether. Um, I wanted to reach out to you directly and again apologize for any lack of respect that I showcased by presenting those pictures of your personal home. I fully understand where you're coming from. I want to reassure you that all marketing pieces for your property have been removed and that you have nothing to worry about in regards to the property changing ownership. It is clear that you and Morris have a great relationship and he thinks very highly of you. I'm sorry that my actions may have tampered with that relationship. If you have any further questions or would like to speak to me directly, please feel free to reach out. My direct line is this. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hopefully that's a pretty well written stuff. Did he include contingency on tenant being able to stay in house after it was sold? No, that's what I was saying. That's kind of what I was focusing on. I was saying that was what I was focusing on in terms of the special provisions, um, saying that the tenant was going to be issued a 30-day notice after my inspection period, and that the property was going to be delivered vacant at the time of closing. So he was going to kick him out regardless. That's messed up. You think he'd have a sense of loyalty after having tenant for 10 years? Wow, business, I guess. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you're saying that you have such a good relationship with them. Like, don't you want to loop them into this conversation and let them know that, hey, I might be selling this? Right. He was deceptive from the start. Yeah. Like, again, I'm not going to place any blame other than me because I fucked up big time. I didn't include that language, which is incredible. I see now to avoid these type of sellers. All money ain't good money. Yeah, man. So hopefully she replies to me. Hopefully she's on Facebook. She was on Facebook enough to reach out. So, um, I see her and her husband. Smithville Fire Department is looks like what he works for. Um, Man, I wonder what happened because yeah, I just need to avoid Facebook Marketplace. There's no good buyers on there, anyways. Because I actually saw. So if you guys are familiar with this deal here, he was under contract with somebody else before me, and then they backed out. And I was the second person that entered into a contract with him. So I actually saw the marketing pieces from the old wholesaler. I would imagine they were wholesaling it. So I actually saw their postings in some of the groups that I posted it in, and I guess they just got lucky because the tenants didn't see their posts, but saw mine anyways, right? So uh, that's just another funny kind of piece to this all here. I see now just because you're renting a home, never assume you're safe. They can kick you out at any time without notice, no matter how cool you think. Yeah, oh, for sure. It's not your home to make the decision on. They can easily kick you out. But now, yeah, I can see where the tenant's coming from. It's like, okay, well, are you gonna sell the place? Should we might as well just be looking for other. If you're having that conversation with somebody else about selling the place, I might as well just move. If you're gonna kick me out at one point in time. So that's the issue here. I see now just because you're yeah. So I've sent her that Facebook message. I still haven't heard back from him. Um, what do I do? Do I give him another call right now? I've both emailed and texted his my number to him. I don't think I sent it anywhere else in terms of marketing. Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups, Craigslist, um, and then email blasted it. Hopefully they're not on my email list. Gosh, I can't even joke about this. How do you market deals outside marketplace? I just mentioned it. Facebook groups, investor groups, email lists, uh, Craigslist. But I'm in the future. I'm not going to do Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I'm just going to do Facebook investor groups and my email list. And then like maybe cold call cash buyers or text cash buyers. How do you market deals? Right. People need to plan a move. Need time to plan a move. Yeah, and I get that. God, I wish she saw this and at least texted me back or messaged me back. So I was on phone running his mouth, just remain calm, let it play out a bit. Yeah, you think that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they're talking to each other, the seller and the tenant. That's what I was thinking. Maybe I'm just painting a picture now of what could possibly be happening as to why he isn't reaching out to me. Because it's been a half hour, 35 minutes. I'm freaking out. I mean, you done all that you can have to stay still. You have to stay still. Yeah. I'm thinking the last bit of effort I'm going to do is kind of I'm thinking about just calling him back real quick and saying, "Hey, I haven't gotten the seller's or the tenant's information yet. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Be right back." It's hard to stay still though. I understand. Don't freak out. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Freak out in silence. Um, what do? Do I call him? Good luck. See you next time. See you, Daniel. Thanks. Yeah, I fucked up. If I don't hear back from him within the next 2 minutes, I'm gonna call him. I got you, buddy. I know. My socks on. Let me get going. I know, but I'll come. All right, I'm gonna call him real quick.
Hello.
Hey, Morris, this is Derek.
Yeah. I got your number. In the store, so I didn't have.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I'll see you guys. Thanks, Sophisticated One. I'll see you on the next one.